To start the game, choose a character. Here, everyone chooses Ed, Mir, and RX-97. Each of your characters has 10 health. If you ever get to 0 health by being beaten up with objects thrown at you, then you're out of the game and you just discard everything, all your cards in hand and your possessed items. The goal is to get everybody else out of the game. Your character also has an ability, and those can be used once per game at any time. Shuffle the deck and deal each player 5 cards. You can look at your hand. Then, take turns choosing a number from 1 to 8. Somebody rolls the die, and whoever guessed the number that the die rolls to is the one who goes first. If no one got it, roll again. This is the face the die starts on, and play will go clockwise. On your turn, you can do up to 2 actions. Now, one of the main ones is throwing an item. The other things you can do is you can possess an item or put an item into someone else's possession. I'll explain that in a moment. And you can also discard up to 2 cards, because at the end of your turn, no matter what actions you did, you then draw back up to your max hand size of 5. So how do you throw? Choose a card from your hand, an item card. It'll have a purple background. The number in the pink circle is how much damage it'll do if it successfully hits somebody. The white triangles show the numbers that you have to be able to turn the die to display. We call them activation faces. So the player who's being Ed, he chooses a stone hatchet, which will do 3 damage if it hits, and has to have the activation face of a 4 or a 3. He takes the card from his hand, says he's going to throw it. Everybody has a chance to interfere. In this case, no one does, so he turns the die 1 face. You're always going to turn the die along one of its corners to show one of the 3 adjacent faces. In this case, he manages to get the face he needs, and so he managed to successfully throw it, and it'll hit Mir, who he's aiming at. If he wasn't able to turn the die to show the face that he needed, he would still turn the die, so it still moves on, but he's unsuccessful and he'd discard it. There are 3 ways to interfere with a throw: playing an instant, using a single-use item's ability, or using your character ability. You'll notice the player who's Mir puts down a maroon card. That's an instant. In this case, it's the card Shrivel, which reduces the damage dealt by 1. So he still got hit, but he was able to interfere. Instants happen right away, whenever the situation that they fit in, that they make sense in, comes up. So for his second turn, what Ed does is he possesses a card. The way possession works is, what you're trying to do is you're taking a card from your hand and you're putting it down in front of you. You can have up to 3 cards possessed, up to 3 cards in front of you. When you're playing a card from your hand, so again what you have to do is turn the die to show the necessary activation face. And then it's just there in front of you for storage, basically. There's 2 points to this. You can throw it later, and now that you've already got the activation face done, you don't have to do that. So possessed items you throw for free, basically. No one gets to interfere with before you turn the die, but they could still play instants to reduce the damage they take. The other advantage is some of the items have effects, and so if you've got a possessed item in front of you, you can then use its effect. In addition to possessing a card and putting it in front of you, you could possess it and put it in front of another player. We call that putting into another player's possession. The reason you might do this is, well, the card might have an effect that's bad for whoever holds it. Also, because you can only have 3 items in front of you, if I try to put a 4th item in front of someone, they have to discard one of the items they already have. Item cards that have abilities have one of 2 symbols. If the item card's ability is continuous, that means that its effect happens as long as you have this item possessed in front of you. It will have a yellow diamond with an infinity sign. For instance, Caduceus gives you 1 health at the start of your turn, as long as you have it. Other items have effects that are single use. These items have a blue diamond with the number 1 in it. You can either use this item to throw at somebody, then discard, or use it single use and then discard. So what we see here is RX-97 is going to try to throw a ceremonial dagger at Ed. She sets it up, says she's going to do it. Then Ed already has a crystal ball in possession. The effect of a crystal ball is that you can make the die turn one extra face. So he invokes it, now that he's used the effect, he discards it, and she has to turn the die an extra face, which makes it so that she can't reach the activation phase she needed.